Race fans, a few years ago, we started out with what we refer to as the Atomic KC Hall of Fame. And I'm sorry, I'm a little hot on that microphone. Wow, that even parted my hair. But with the Atomic KC Hall of Fame, we try to do different things. But one thing we really want to highlight is people that helped make Atomic and KC Raceway what it is today. And we've got some people tonight we're going to put into our Hall of Fame. We've even got somebody up on top. If you can look up towards the tower and everybody just wave at the center of the tower and say, "Good evening, Eleanor." We are blessed tonight to have what we consider the First Lady of Atomic KC with us. Eleanor Karchner is with us in the VIP section tonight. And I'll be right frank honest, we are absolutely blessed to have her in the house with us tonight. So, with that, we're going to honor tonight some people that made a difference, we think, in the racing business in Southern Ohio, namely through KC and Atomic Speedway. First gentleman we're going to talk about tonight, he was a second-generation racer. His father, Dick, raced sprint cars. And at the age of 7, Butch could be found warming up his dad's race cars. At the age of 9, his father gave him and his brother a 1939 Ford sedan to drive around the field. After a 4-year stint in the U.S. Marine Corps, Butch returned home to pursue a racing career in the early 60s. In 1964, there was times on a weekend that Butch Hartman raced as many as 5 times in one weekend. In 1966, he won his first USAC Stock Car Championship, the first of 5 national championships. In 1977, he went NASCAR racing, and then about that time, he also started going back to more dirt. In the late 70s, early 80s, when you seen that yellow and black number 75 Camaro roll into Atomic Speedway, you knew one thing was going to happen. It was going to be a race. It was going to be a show. And one night in turn 3, there's a photo circulating around of Butch Hartman qualifying and his left hand sticking out the window, waving at the photographer. That's just the kind of showman that Butch could be at times. Always a smile, always a fan favorite. So the first of our inductees tonight is going to be the 75 machine out of Zanesville, Ohio, the legendary Butch Hartman. And race fans, the guy that's going to accept for his dad tonight. Welcome back to Atomic Speedway tonight, the Darkman, Bart Hartman. Hi, buddy.
How you doing? I see everybody out here tonight.
You talking?
Oh, I'm quiet. I haven't been in front of a crowd in a long time.
Bart, growing up with Dad, always doing his deal, what was that like as a young man watching him?
Oh, it was very intense. Anybody that had to watch him knew that he was always up on the wheel, and he definitely got the most out of a car that it could possibly give.
One of the stories I read this week, and somebody else was kind of backing it up, they said he quit racing USAC because he was tired of getting second billing to the sprint cars and not getting to pay the sprint cars well, so that's when he quit racing USAC stocks. Was that right?
Not really the sprint cars, it was more the Indy cars.
Oh, okay.
It was the USAC, they just tended to like the Indy cars a lot more than they did the stock car division, and he wanted to get back to the grassroots and race around Ohio and Pennsylvania and West Virginia and slow down a little bit, but he enjoyed coming down here. And I can remember when I was very young, come here for the first time, and everybody that raced here raced really, really hard, and that's what kept drawing him back to this place.
Can't get you back in a car?
I think that time's passed.
All right, once again, race fans, welcome our good friend Bart Hartman here tonight. Just hang around up here, would you? The next guy, after being told by his brothers Charlie and Dave, "Man, you got to try this," George quickly realized, I think it had something to do with him hanging off the fence down here off corner number 4 one night. He quickly realized he was a lot more comfortable building race cars than driving them. The website Sprint Cars Unlimited ranks George Fisher as the number 8 all-time crew chief. A lot of his success was with Dale Blaney. The duo amassed 96 All-Star victories, 4 series titles with the All-Stars, 4 Ohio Sprint Speed Week titles. Always the thinker, always the innovator. George responsible for the GF1 sprint car chassis, and many of the things we see today were technology, were ideas, were things that George Fisher refined and done. George wasn't always the most talkative guy. In fact, if he didn't know you, don't expect to really have a conversation with him. Somebody asked him one day, they said, do you ever smile? And he said, when I'm in victory lane, I'll smile for you. How's that? And George Fisher was always one to smile in victory lane. Today, to accept for Brother George, welcome Charlie Fisher. Hey, buddy.
Hey, only thing George would be, well, this was our first track, and we felt like it was always our home track, and he was my mechanic before he got a real race car driver named Blaney, and but we did good, and he felt like he wasn't a mechanic, he was more of a psychiatrist to the drivers, and so I remember one night, he told me the best way I can help him to get the car ready to come down here to race was to help him load it up into the trailer. So, you know, he would be real happy. I will have this in my engine shop, and I miss him to death because Monday morning he would be in the shop. We had a little truce because I built other customers' motors that I was always to walk right by Dale and George's car and not show any partiality. So, but Monday morning he was usually chewing my butt out on it for the motor not doing this or doing that. So, I can't express how much this means to him, but to me, he's in heaven right now, probably working on a race car,
Making him go faster.
I bet.
All right. Thank you very much, Charlie Fisher, on behalf of George. Just hang around up here with us. Charlie, just hang off with us up here if you would. Right over here, Bart. You know that guy, don't you?
I do.
Next up was another guy that always had a smile, always had a joke, always had a one-liner. Two-time Hobby Stock Track champion back in 1977 and 78. I remember one night we were in the pits and I was with Stan Jeffrey shooting pictures. Roger just leaned back on that car and just patted that car, and he says, "We built this car." And Richard Miller just standing there going, "I built this car." Roger was always looking for ways to make it faster, always looking for a one-liner, always looking for a good time, always having fun, always a fan favorite. And again, it was always fun with Roger. Roger had a running joke with then track photographer Stan Jeffries. Stan was always asking, he said, "Now Roger, I need to get your good side." And Roger just always looked at him and says, "All I have is good sides." Tonight, representing Roger Beeler is his son Sean and granddaughter Paisley, my little buddy. That's all right, represent that whole Beeler family, every one of them. Yes, sir. There's Seth also. Good job. Sean? Okay. That's all right, buddy. Thank you.
I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. It is an honor and a pleasure. You know, when you grow up in a dirt track family, even at a young age, I mean, it gets in your blood. I don't get the opportunity to come here very often, but I come here and I get goosebumps. Just seeing all the fans walking back through the pits, and I can't go by 3 or 4 cars without knowing somebody. It's definitely an honor, pleasure. You know, my Uncle Emmett and Richard, you know, for everything they did through the years for my dad. And everybody just enjoy dirt track racing. I mean, it is a great, great sport. Yeah, and Aunt Bev.
Once again, John, thank you. Hi, young lady. How are you? Okay, good. Race fans, representing Roger Beeler, this is his son, John. Just want to come right over here with us so we can get some more pictures. By the way, Tyler Carr, thank you. Tyler here, also all of our photographers here tonight. Next up, the 1998 KC Raceway Sprint Car Champion as a driver. Since then 4 times from 2019 to 2022 as a crew chief / owner. While racing with the All-Star Circuit Champions, 4 wins, 57 top 5s, 158 top 10s, 16 World of Outlaw starts, top 10 in the USAC wingless cars at the 4 Crown in Eldora. Words that come to mind when I think about Rodney Duncan are versatile. If it has pedals and a steering wheel, he can handle it. Wing, non-wing, he can handle it. Humble, but quite intense. Conservative, but willing to risk it all for victory. But the word that comes to me the most is winner. Race fans, another 2003 Atomic Speedway Hall of Famer, Rodney Duncan. And look at this dude up here. Yeah! He's rooting for Grandpa.
Thank you. It's humbling. I love this place. My dad's been bringing me here for close to 50 years, so I'm sure I'm standing here more because I'm Cole's dad than anything I did driving, but I'm cool with that. Really thank all the fans for coming out tonight and supporting Atomic Speedway. Hopefully, we can keep this place going for another 40 years. So our third generation guy, if he wants to do this, and we can be doing it.
I think he's on it.
Yeah, he's on it. It's just humbling, I used to watch Butch Hartman when I was a kid, and I got to say, George Fisher, he's what Cole and I modeled our racing program off of when we started. I mean, if George Fisher was working on it, it probably won. And when I first started racing down here, he was working on Charlie's car, and they were the people to beat. And George's car was a car to beat all the way up to the end. So it's an honor to be up here, with George.
All right. Once again, Rodney Duncan, another 2023 Atomic Speedway Hall of Famer. Yeah, we might have his hands full, but that's all right. We'll let them get the pictures over there. Last but certainly not least, Vernon and his family have been around Atomic Speedway probably as long as there's been Atomic Speedway. He was a part of the 84th Infantry in World War II, served in England, France, Belgium, and Germany. He got decorated after a boat blew up, and he had to cross the river to the enemy shore, retrieving a weapon, and then went to work. In 1961, Vernon started building motors for the likes of Jim Meeker and others. And yes, they were 427 Fords. Make no mistake about it. Vernon built Fords. If you would cut him, he bled Ford blue. From 1966 to 1969, Vernon fielded a CAE sprint car that was driven by the legendary Jim Meeker. After the two split ways, in 1969, Vernon bought another CAE car out of California. After Meeker, other drivers included his son Roger, Don Adams, Joe Frazier, Ed Luce, Leo Sanders, among others. Vernon always quick to help other racers with motors and setups and their suspensions. People like Rick Holley and the late another Hall of Famer, Dick French. In 1988, Vernon received the Spirit Award from KC Raceway. Vernon's racing heritage continues as two of his sons, Roger and Randy, have both had very successful racing careers as well. Along with three of his grandchildren, David, Evan, and Casey Sykes Mavis. And two great-grandchildren, Davey Sykes and Kane Mavis, have all competed for checker flags. Tonight, our fifth Hall of Fame inductee, Vernon Sykes, and accepting for him is going to be his son, Randy. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. We go back a few years, don't we? When we had hair.
Wait, that's been a long time ago. I just want to say thank you so much. What an honor, my dad. I remember sitting right up there by where Steve Wade is, and Bud, my old buddy, Bud Overman. All through the years, I say, when we first come here, there wasn't even such thing as a bought and race car. There's all homemade cars that they all built. Dad loved the Fords and instilled that into all the family. So just so honored to go and be here and accept this for him.
All right, Randy Sykes, what a legacy, though. How many generations on, and now you've got the little guys and gals even going.
It's something. I remember getting in trouble at my grandparents' house for hot rodding a tractor, and my grandmother said my grandfather even ran the horses hard. So it goes way back.
It goes way back. It comes on. Once again, Randy Sykes. Randy, if you want to come over here so these guys can get some pictures. This next guy, we got a little something for. He started racing at the age of 16, about 1974, in the state of Indiana. The son of Big Smith, we call him, Mike Smith. This guy was a 1985 Gold Cup winner, one of the original World of Outlaws in 1978, his first outlaw victory in 1980. Down under, he was the big winner at that Warmanall place about 6 different times. He was King Kong in Australia for many years. 2021 USCS National Champion, 5-time Atomic Speedway Track Champion, co-winner the 1979 Little 500. He graduated high school while at Anderson Speedway.
He was the first
2015, he was inducted into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. 2018, the Atomic Speedway Hall of Fame. 33 All-Star wins, 10 World of Outlaw wins. He's won in winged, non-winged, and pavement sprints. And as a car owner, a couple notable guys that drove his cars and had victories right here. One of them, Cole Duncan. One of them, the 2-time All-Star champion and defending All-Star champion, none other than Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. Got his first 410 sprint car victory right here at Atomic Speedway, and Danny Smith. And this year we are honoring him for 50 years of racing with the Atomic Legacy Award. Your friend and mine, race fans, let's hear it for Danny Smith. Did we surprise you? Yes. Good. What about it, buddy?
Yeah, you mentioned Cole got his first win here at Atomic Speedway in my car, and he's been a pain in the ass ever since. But glad to be a part of that. Sunshine too. He had to take a month off for being injured. First night back, last night in New York, he spanked him. So just proud to be a part of some guys that always cherish those wins, and along with mine, but always cherish those wins. And I'll never forget my first win, especially my first win here. We came here in 1976, and we won the feature first time here and beat a guy named George Harbor, who was like God here. Yeah. So that was quite an accomplishment, and I'll never forget that.
You have helped a lot of guys come from Australia. You've been to Australia numerous times, and just amazing. What an ambassador all the way around for the sprint car business.
It's kind of fun. I've had a lot of help over the years, just returning the favor. The race fans have been great. In 2010, when I got hurt, I had to sit out most of the year. Y'all came through with some donations that kept me going. We got the race car fixed and got Cole going, and Trevor Green, he got hurt in Australia the year before in 2008 or 9, and I went and subbed for him, so it was only fitting when I got hurt that he come sub for me. And he had some good nights, and just a little bit of payback there for him.
Yes, sir. Once again, race fans, let's hear it. Danny Smith. You just step right over there. And here's the one that keeps it going. She's the one. First Lady Stephanie. Get up here. Now, I got one more. Hang on, In 1953, a group of Chillicothe businessmen realized that a dream that would go on for many years. The group became the Chillicothe Stock Car Racing Association. A lot of people don't realize it, but they had races up at the old Chillicothe Speedway. They had races at the Ross County Fairgrounds, and then they came here. Out of that group, one is left. Would you come down? If you all could move. Race fans, I want to introduce you to one of the people that is responsible for this whole deal happening. If you've ever seen those cranes around Chillicothe area that say Overman and Son Crane, this is my friend. This is Bud Overman. 94 years he will be here very soon. He is 93 years old. Yesterday I watched him operate that crane and then drive it right eating lunch. And but Bud Overman, we have for him the Founding Fathers Award for you, Bud. And if you go by his shop and he's not out on the crane, he's sitting there in front of the shop making sure everything's clean. How many cranes you got in that shop now?
We used to have 3, but we're down to 1. Just my boys driving it now. They're about to make me quit. I didn't know how old you have to be to retire, because I'm almost 94, but I'm going to make 100.
I believe you will. Now, I got one quick question. Yeah, let's hear it, race fans. When you guys first put this place together, put this deal together, did you have any idea that this long and would grow to this?
The winter of '54, we met in the Armory in Chillicothe, in the ballpark. We had 80-some members, and we kept assessing people a little money, so we kept losing people, and we wound up with 20, and then we had Judge Salmon as our attorney, so we give him a share, and I'm the last one.
The last member of the Chillicothe Stock Car Racing Association. Bud Overman, I'm glad you're here with us tonight. I'm glad to have you as a friend, too. So once again, Mr. Overman, you come over here, bud, and get, by the way, Tyler Carr and the other guys doing a lot of great racing photos, doing a lot of great photos for us this evening. Keep your eyes on their web pages, on their sites, and these guys are going to be up there. We're going to let them have some time. As you see these guys throughout the night, just give them a thanks. Thank them for everything they've done in the racing world and what they've done here. And we're going to get upstairs and we're going to get ready to go green racing here very shortly. We're going to do a little track work for a little bit. And we're going to keep the music going, and very shortly, hopefully, we will be ready to go green flag racing.